ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Richard Wilmore.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. All right, sit, relax. Welcome to Make Your Day Richer. My guest's life story could be a 4-hour-long special on its own, so I'm so excited to finally have him here on the show. Ray Starr is a musician who went from a self-booked toilet tour to sharing the stage with some of the biggest names in punk rock. He's here today to talk about his incredible journey through the music industry, getting sober, and the power he found in his guitar to overcome a really tough childhood. Hit it, Big Infinite.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Well, thanks for being here.
Hey, no worries. Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. Now, when I was doing research on you and listening and reading about you, it's like, where do you start? This could be a 4-hour-long Barbara Walters special with you because you've had such
Wawa Wawa.
Wawa, yes, 2020. Exactly. But I'm going to start off with your name, Ray Starr.
Yeah. My mom stutters. You leave her alone.
Sorry, Mom. Where did that come from?
Well, it's ironic. It's my very, very first band. My bass player, he nicked me Ray, and it stuck. And I got tired of correcting people all the time, and so it just kind of followed me my whole life. So I didn't choose it; it chose me.
Of course. That's usually how that stuff works, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been making music and traveling as a musician?
Well, I mean, without boring people too much, I started at a very young age playing guitar. I got inspired. I knew at a very young age. I was watching TV. We were very poor. We had one channel, and of course, you had to use tinfoil to make sure it came in somewhat okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it was the Kinks playing some festival in like the 70s, and there had to been like, I don't know, like 150,000 people there. I knew nothing of music because I'm a kid, right? I'm a really young kid. And I pointed at the screen, and I pointed back at my dad, and I pointed at the screen again, and I go, that's what I want to do when I grow up. I just knew, right? And I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse, but that's kind of how it went about. And that started my journey. So, but I got into my very first professional band, I guess. I got discovered by this punk rock band. I was 14 years old, and I cut my first album when I was 14. The guys were older than me, and it started that journey. It just, okay, I guess I'm in it now. Started touring and doing the whole shebang, and it just, unfortunately, it's like a I don't know how to call it. It's like becomes part of you. You can't, I can't not do it. Let's put it that way.
I understand. Yes.
Yeah.
I was the same way watching TV going, I want to be a talk show host. So
There you go. And lo and behold, here we are.
so now we're just hanging out. So at 14, you're making records and you're doing all of that. Is that when all of the stereotypical rock and roll stuff started? You're
absolutely.
You're sober now. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let's just put it this way. Like I was mentioning, I grew up poor. I have good parents. They're great parents, but they worked so much just to keep the lights on, so to speak. So I was a latchkey kid, and raising myself, and like I say, my parents were great people, but let's just say another family member wasn't, if you get my drift.
Mhm.
And so, and then I'd be going to school and getting the crap beat out of me all the time. And I didn't know how to process that as an 11-year-old kid. So, I'd stay out on the streets, and at an early age. And of course, you meet other crappy kids on the street doing that, and one thing led to another. And then I befriended this one guy, and his brother was a lot older than us, and his brother was a dealer. and I got exposed to drugs that most kids probably shouldn't get exposed to at too early of an age. And so I didn't become a full blown addict right away. Like I just I dabbled with this and that. But anyone that knows you start messing with hard drugs, it gets a hold of you, right? So anyway, short story long is yeah, you got into the rock and roll lifestyle, and yeah, I mean, I have arrived. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, this is what it's supposed to be
this
like.
is this is
Yeah,
it. This is it.
yeah.
Because hide from all my pain and stuff. That guitar, I just hid in that guitar. It carried me through the
Hmm.
worst parts of life, carried me through the best parts of life. But one thing's consistent: that guitar was always there, right? And so, like I say, that band. Uh, we did okay. I mean, it wasn't an explosive thing, but the next couple bands did start to go, which was just basically formations of relatively the same guys just moving around different bands. That's how things kind of worked back then. And and then I went on my first tour that till still to this day, out of all the tours I've done in my life, it's in my mind as the best tour I've ever been on. And we nicknamed it the Toilet Tour. It was so ghetto. We booked everything ourselves. We decided we're going down to L.A. My singer at the time, God bless his soul, he's passed away now. But like, we had all these charges, so we got our tour manager, which basically was just our friend that we grew up with, who decided he's our tour manager, and we put my singer in the trunk, and he drove him across the border, right, to
Oh
get
my
him into the
God.
country. And that's kind of how it started. So you can put together the rest of the movie here. It was pretty awesome. And so anyway, we play all these shows all the way down to Los Angeles, and it was just one disastrous show after another. Like nobody's there other than the bartender, the waitresses. Like just disaster, disaster. So by the time we got to LA, totally, totally, absolutely defeated, if you will.
Mm.
But we got lucky and we played this show in LA. I'm going to date myself here a little bit, but we played a club called Raji's. And ironically, that's Guns N' Roses started in that place. Lots of bands started in the place. It was just an absolute toilet on the strip there. And luckily, the tour manager of Bad Religion, he happened to be, decided he was in the studio all day, wanted to go for a beer. And we got discovered that night. So that's kind of
Wow.
how that kind of went, right? And yeah, we played with a band I remember distinctly. They were called Beowulf, and that was Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies. That was his first band, and I remember this is not to bring up war stories, but it's a good story. So, you know, we're just these lowly kids from a shitty part of Canada, and these gangsters pull up, and they're all like full blown batos, with their they're Lord Parisians, and they're not hiding the fact that they're gang members. You know what I mean? Their pieces are like well in clear view. And I go into the bathroom, and I had dreadlocks at the time there because that was the thing to do back then, I guess. And I'm sitting there, and I'm against the piss wall. And I'm taking a piss, and all of a sudden, bam! I get smashed from the right of me, and I'm still pissing, right? Bzzz, I'm pissing to the left, and bam! I get left on the other side. And I'm like, I'm going to die. Today's the day I die with my dick hanging out. Yeah, but short story long is they their leader comes up to me right in my face, and he goes, "Hey Holmes, where you from, man?" And I'm a kid, right? I'm from Surrey, which is like it's a ghetto area, and it's a suburb of Vancouver, and it's an absolute toilet. And he goes, "Surrey," and he goes, "Hey, you guys got any Surrey skunk?" And of course we do. So next thing you know, we're best friends with these guys, and like it went a lot better than I thought. I didn't die that night, but short story long, I'm not going to get into all the logistics of that night. It was a pretty crazy night, but it was just an absolute. The whole night was crazy, and all of a sudden, we started to blow up from that. You know, things really changed, and then all of a sudden, I'm in it now. I'm in the music business.
Wow. Were
Yeah.
you that deep into the music business when you decided to get sober? And what was that like?
Well, yeah. So I was a high functioning addict for a long time. So I lived a lot of different lives, like most addicts do. and I had the music end of it, but I had other things going on too, and I was able to hide it for a long time until I couldn't any longer, and it got a hold of me. It did a couple times in my life, but the last time it got so bad, and short story long is I started in the nice part of town, and by the end I ended up in the poopy part of town, and living in a cardboard condo with waterfront property at the side of the curb, if you get my drift. Right? So it didn't end so well, and by that point. That was the end for me.
Wow.
Like I have 16 years clean, but it took me 10 years to get that 16 years. I was in and out and in and out and in and out. And for most people, I had bottoms that for most people would be horrific enough to stop. And yet I would still keep going back and using. Absolute chaos, like overdoses. I've died, I've had a couple heart attacks, and I still would go use again.
Did you ever think like I need to leave the industry I'm in,
Yeah.
or
So
like how did?
okay, so when I got clean, I'm like I can't do music anymore.
Yeah,
And for the first year and a half of me getting clean, I didn't do anything with music. I was scared to, because if you know anything about music, it's like you get loaded at rehearsal, you get loaded on the way to rehearsal, you get loaded on the way after rehearsal, you get loaded at the show, you get loaded on the way to the show, after the show, you get loaded on the tour bus, you get loaded off the bus. The whole thing is just surrounded around chaos and using,
yeah,
basically. And so, but then, at about a year and a half, like a piece of me is dying, and I just like, man, I feel so low, and I realize it's because I don't have music in my life anymore. And I go back to when I was that kid at 4, and it's like, hey, man, I knew nothing about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I just knew rock and roll, and that's what I wanted to do, right? And so I got back to music because I mean, my addiction was, it started off sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and then it was just sex and drugs, and in the end, it was just drugs. Like there was nothing left of anything, right?
yeah.
So yeah, and because for the longest time, I'm not the only artist who ever said this, but I thought I couldn't create being clean. I thought I
Mm-hmm.
lost my creative edge or whatever that you want to
Hmm.
call it, right? Because I'm no longer talking to the RCM trees, the tree police, right? Like, and let me tell you, no further of a lie could that have been,
Yeah.
like I've accomplished way more being clean than I ever did when I was loaded, really,
Can
Um,
you talk about what you're doing now and the work you're doing with mentoring people through their recovery?
yeah. So, like I've just recently I spoke at I was a guest speaker. I was asked to be a speaker at a Narcotics Anonymous convention, and basically telling my story and stuff. And the reason I do that, it's not, I want to show that, if a no good junkie like me can get his life together, and I'm pretty frickin' thankful for all the things that are going on in my life right now. Like, never in a million years did I ever think this could happen to me and what my life would look like. It's absolutely incredible. And so the reason I like to share my story is like, hey, if a no good junkie like Ray Ray over there can get his life together, maybe I can do some stuff, because I've seen the most amazing things happen to people when they actually, get off the dope, you
Yeah.
know, and I think the biggest gift that getting clean has taught me is like it ain't about me anymore. When you're young, it's all ego and it's all look at me, look at me, look at me, and me, and that attitude almost killed me. You know, and as I got wiser, it's not about me anymore. It's about you, right? How can I help you? What can I do for you? And it reflects in my music and everything else I do, and that's what really started opening doors for me.
Mhm. Yeah. And you're still making music. You've got your band Death and Sons. Can you tell everybody?
Yeah,
Um,
so
yeah.
we are a super group, if you will. Every one of us comes from bigger bands, and we were put together. And then we just went and recorded at the Armory Studios, where Bon Jovi did "Slippery When Wet," like "Living on a Prayer,"
Yeah.
and AC/DC did "Thunderstruck" there, like a Razor's Edge album. and we were recorded by Danny Craig. I don't know if you remember the band Default. He's the drummer in
Yeah,
Default, and so
yeah.
he recorded us, and then it got mixed by Fab down in Los Angeles, and Fab is also we're business partners here too. But like Fab has worked with Slash and oh my God, Billy Gibbons and Zach Wilde and Alice Cooper, and he used to play bass for George Clinton and the Parliament Funk.
Wow.
Yeah, so he mixed us, and then Pete mastered it, and Pete he does everything for Lady Gaga, and he did well, of course, he did Leonard Skinner's all their albums, and so he did an awesome job mastering. So we're really proud of the product that's come out. We're very kind of, it's a little bit of it's like a picture like Seattle '90s kind of in its
Mhm.
heyday kind of thing, but a new take on it kind of thing. So
Cool.
yeah, so like because like singer Paul there, he used to play in a band called oh my God, it's leaving me right now. I should have done my homework here. Anyway, he toured with Pearl Jam and stuff like that, right? And he also sang for Jakey Lee, the guitar player from Ozzy that wrote "Bark of the Moon." He toured with him, and then the drummer there, he plays or did play, I should say, with Trooper, the boys in the bright white sports car, waving their hands in the air. He played with them, right? Yeah. And then of course me, and then the bass player. He's a session player. He's played with a lot of like more session work than anything. But he also was in a band that got signed too. So yeah, it came together really quickly. So that's that. And then of course I got my solo stuff too. I've been doing I got a new song coming out in line with it's basically I wrote the song. I've had the lyrics forever. I wrote the lyrics like, oh God, I don't know, man. Maybe 8 years ago or something like that. And I wrote about the struggles about getting clean and the struggles of staying clean. It's a personal song to me, right? And I figured it was time, and I finally got the music. The right music came to me, and
Oh, cool.
yeah, yeah.
What is the best way that people can connect with you and listen to the music and see what you're up to?
But I'm all the usual places, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, all that good stuff, and YouTube as well. And then what I also got going on, which might be of interest to people, is I'm also the promotions production manager for a show called Real Music Live, and we've already had 2 test airings on NBC. And it's basically where artists have to perform, and they're not allowed any tricks, like no backing tracks, no computer tricks. You have to play live off the floor. If you suck, you're going to suck. And
Hmm.
so basically every show has 3 signed artists that, and then one band that or artist that is not signed. And that's the premise of the show basically. And we've already, like I said, we've already done some test airings, and we're probably going to be moving the production over to Vegas. Everything's in Los Angeles right now, but I think we might be moving to Vegas just because of costs and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
uh, it's pretty exciting. And then also, I'm also an executive producer on a show that it's basically a mini series. We already got our first season, 10 in the hop, and the second season's being written right now as we speak. I can't really talk much about it because of NDAs, but all I can say is it's music related too.
Cool.
I guess I can say that safely. But
Come
it's
back when you can talk about it.
yeah,
And we'll
yeah.
talk
But
about that.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of things going on. There's a lot of
Yeah.
things going on, right?
What do
Yeah.
you love most about your life right now?
Oh man, it's just I'm living the life that I've always wanted to live.
Yeah.
Like, there's ups, there's downs. Like that's how the music business is. It's not an easy ride. It's not for the weak at heart, that's for sure. But I don't have to go to a day job and, hit a punch card. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
But I did that a lot of my life, but I've always somehow been in the music business. I roadied for years and years. I roadied for some pretty big acts and stuff, and got to do some touring with that too. It was cool, but like I've always been somewhat connected to music because I just freaking love music. I think it's the only thing in the world that's a universal language that it with all the crap that's going on in the world, and there's always been crap going on in the world, it's your escape from the crap,
Yeah.
you know? Right.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed, sir. And I can't thank you enough for being here and for really building the community that you have, and for all the help you've put out there into the world and all the good stuff you're doing. I
Oh,
appreciate
thanks,
it.
man. Thanks so very much. I appreciate that,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
Yeah. Come back anytime.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Anytime. We'll take a break and be right back after this. Don't go away.
You know what would be better than watching this commercial? Watching your commercial. Join the party that is Make Your Day Richer TV by advertising your brand, business, or project during the show. Use us to promote what you're doing to make our viewers' day richer. Scan the QR code or visit makeyourdayricher.com/advertising to start promoting today.
Welcome back, everyone. Hey, there's a new episode of Gorilla HR, the podcast from Gorilla HR, all about human resources, hosted by Becky, filmed right here in the studio. So if you need help with your podcast, getting it up and running, and need a space to do it, send me an email at makeyourdayricher@gmail.com. Anyway, she had her first in-person guest this week. Take a look.
It's interesting you say that, and we don't have to go too far into that, but I think you're exactly right in the sense of what is the goal or the mission or the objective when we think about traditional insurance of that insurance carrier and that administrator. Their goals are not going to be the goals of you as a physician working with a patient.
Correct. I mean, I worked in traditional practice for 10 years before I opened my direct primary care practice. And there were plenty of times, I mean, daily occasions where someone's coming to me with an issue that needs to be addressed. But before I can even get to their issue, there's a list of things
Yeah.
that have to be checked in order for that visit to be paid.
Yeah.
Or quality measures or reimbursement will suffer because certain things were not addressed.
Yeah.
And it puts me in a difficult situation because I see you as a person.
You can learn more about Becky and everything she's doing over there at Gorilla HR at gorilla-hr.com. Tomorrow's show, Susan Dormady Eisenberg is here to talk about her book, The Voice I Just Heard. We're talking about theater. So if you're a musical theater person, tomorrow's the show to watch. We're going to play a game that's going to win the audience a prize. If she wins, it's going to be really fun. So check in tomorrow. Go make your day richer. Go make somebody else's day richer. You've made mine by watching this show, and I love you for it. We'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Bye-bye.